We are live. Welcome, everyone. We are live. And myself, I had to scoot over from the sun is way too bright at the moment, and so I had to move over a little bit. So bear with me as I get situated here. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being on and waiting for the daily tune-in. I'm super stoked. We just got back a little bit ago. We went into town. We've been spending the last couple of days hitting all of the food markets and getting these just amazing jars of, what is it, pickled? Is that what it is, honey? Pickled? It's not pickled.
Pickled eggplants.
Pickled eggplants and pickled peppers, olives. Oh my God, the olives! Like everything I've seen on TV and food shows. We're just snacking on them. It's the most surreal. It's just surreal. It's a really crazy feeling to have as we just go through these markets and find these finds that are so fun to find, and then we come home and eat it, and we just think we're having the most amazing meal, and it's just a snack. And we got this we got a big in a plastic bottle, just this lady, this, I mean, I'm gonna call her babushka, because a babushka in Ukraine, older ladies are called babushkas. Not sure what they're called here, but she just had homemade wine, so I got some of that. I'm excited to try that. But anyway, so I had a really good day with some new friends that we found. They're our neighbors that are American expats, so it feels like things are starting to organize into a pretty good reality, which brings me completely into today. Welcome to the Aquarian Gateway Portal Day, which is bringing us into the opportunity to create the consciousness and the energetic momentum for a brand new reality for you, a brand new reality of the 5D consciousness when we tune into that. So I want to really tune into that today. I want to give you some practical, you know how, if you've been on here for a little bit, I like my drawings, and I had some inspiration from a lady called Marina Jacoby, who gave me this idea to kind of expand on, so I could bring this into a visual for you, so you can see what we're going to be dealing with and how we're going to be dealing with these next 3 weeks of this portal cycle. So if you weren't on yesterday, I'm just going to kind of cover a little bit about this this powerful portal. I have it kind of written out because I'm still like, yeah, from being out and about, so I haven't fully grounded myself. But as I talked about yesterday, we are now approaching 3 weeks of this, and I'm calling it a portal. But if you just think of like kind of the heavens opening up, and there's not as much static or not as much, it's more kind of a flood of pure divine energy that is flooding in like a tsunami for the next 3 weeks, and it's pushing us into the next big energetic event, which happens on February 22nd. So this energy tsunami opens up, and it's going to carry us through. And this 3-week time frame is a potent time to invoke the freedom to create a monumental consciousness shift. And what we talk about, what we're tuning into on these daily tune-ins, are the consciousness shifts. How can we shift our consciousness using the energies of the cosmos, of ourselves? How do we align and attune all of that so that we can make a higher ascension into higher frequencies, which is the consciousness shift, which then, as we know, affects our physical reality. So we're going to use these next 3 weeks to really tune into all that. And the whole idea here is we are being helped to bring our planet into the 5D expression, the soul expression of our planet. We are being returned back to kind of the paradise that Earth was created in. The divine presence of God, universe, spirit, the I am presence. The I am presence is the presence, the creator that gave us this idea of this beautiful planet. And when it was originally born, it was brought into existence in perfect alignment, in perfect energy, in a paradise, so to speak. It was abundant. It was healthy. And all of its inhabitants were that. And along the way, we got off course. We got off into these old paradigms, and we've gotten off onto, the darker side of life. And it has continued for tens of thousands of years. And now with these higher energies, as we've been talking about for months now on these daily tune-ins, those lower frequencies can no longer exist. The old paradigms are falling away, and we are being returned to a higher consciousness of being and creating a new higher consciousness of reality for those of us who are willing to ascend into those realities and create them, so that we can be the pioneers, again, talking about that for a while now, we can be the pioneers of what is available and what kind of life exists for humans on this planet, so that we can then help others and support others in their own ascension process who may just now be getting started. So this new level of existence is freedom. It is the freedom of health. It's the freedom of wellness and abundance and peace. We are free. Those old paradigms can no longer hold us down. But as we go through these next 3 weeks, we have to trust that. We have to believe that the old energies that have held us down for so long, that they are dissolving. And we have to hold the higher line of consciousness, that whatever it is we want to create and manifest is going to be created and manifested, because in the great I am presence, it is already done. The I am presence, God, universe, spirit, whatever you connect most with, had this idea at one point to have this expression of itself created and in physical form. And at one point, that idea was you. The great I am presence at one point said, I need this individual that is so amazing, that's going to have these skills, that's going to have this kind of personality, that's going to have this kind of light. And I am going to send this individual into physical form during this particular time in planetary history to do this one thing. And that one thing is to be fully you, in the most expansive, in the most abundant expression that you can be. Are you all willing to be that? And are you willing to be that and create that momentum in the next few days, or sorry, in the next few weeks? Because I know that I am, and I know that I'm getting there, because I have never felt lighter. I've never felt happier. I've never felt more abundant. Yes, there are definitely areas of my life that I'm still working on, and I'm setting the intention of what that healthier version is, what that higher intention is in my own life. And I can guarantee you I'm going to be working on that, and I'm going to be intentionalizing it into manifestation in these next 3 weeks. So I asked yesterday's daily tune in for y'all to share some of the beautiful Isabel, I just saw real quick, so much synchronicities happening right now. It's so fun when that happens. I want to hear some of your intentions, so if you would share in the chat, I want to go down and look at that. But one of the things that I wanted to share is how we can tune into these energies. Okay, I'm going to shift a little bit so I have a little bit more room on the side. Here's what this is going to look like. Here's what everyday reality looks like in kind of an energetic space. So imagine, if you will, I'm going to have a couple of different things here. I'm going to scoot this over. I don't want to stay out of the sun because it's too bright right at the moment. Okay, so imagine here that we have every now moment. It's now, and then there's now, and then the next moment, and then the next moment. Okay, and there's different consciousnesses that we operate in every now moment. We can be operating in the emotions and the thoughts of shame, which are at a very, very low frequency, right? I use these cards a lot, and this is kind of the levels of consciousness. So at the very bottom is the level of shame. It has the lowest frequency of emotions. And remember, we've talked about intentions plus emotions create an electromagnetic field, and that electromagnetic field then creates the reality. Okay, so here's shame all the way at the bottom. And then as you go up, you have fear, you have lack and scarcity, overwhelm, anxiousness. When you get to courage, then you move into these life expansive emotions, higher consciousness, higher frequencies of being, higher realities. Okay, so when we go up to love, love is the frequency of the fifth dimensional new earth reality. So when we are operating and creating from a place of love, we are then creating from the inner I am presence, our inner expression of God, our inner expression of spirit, whatever it works for you. This is our I am presence in the presence of love, and the presence of creation is created from love. Sweet soul, you were created in the idea of the mind of spirit from a place of love. It sent you during this time to manifest the highest and greatest potential of your own divine potential. And this is the time that is the prime and essential time to create it. So if we are in a now moment, and what you doing over there, honey? We are in a now moment, and we are operating in a place of shame or a place of fear. What happens is if we stay in that place of fear of whatever it is that we're looking at, maybe we're looking at the news, maybe we're looking at something in our life that's wanting to fall away, but we're trying to hang on to it because we don't want it to go away. And then we do that in the same now moment and the same now moment. What happens is we end up creating a reality down here with this electromagnetic field around it, which is based in ego, because only the ego operates in fear. And this then is an electromagnetic field that is scattered, that is pretty much feels heavy, and you end up creating a reality that feels like through the veil, it feels like you are weighed down by 50-pound weights, and it's just a dark and dense reality that you live. Now, if every now moment you are operating in a place of love, in that fifth dimensional frequency, the fifth dimensional emotions of source, spirit, creator, God, and you then go in here and you're in the fifth dimensional frequency. You're in the higher frequencies of 40 hertz and above. That's where the fifth dimensional earth resides. That's what these frequencies are that we're talking about. And then these also start operating and creating from a place of love, takes us into the gamma waves of our brain. And the gamma waves are the waves that, deep meditators get to, the highest illumined masters of meditation can stay in that space where the gamma waves are the primary operating waves, so to speak, operating waves that put you in that higher consciousness, in that creator consciousness. When you are creating from a place of love, you then start to develop a soul reality. You are in tune with your I am presence, your soul, that place within you that is plugged into the higher realms of existence, the higher realms of spirit. And when that happens, your emotional well-being starts to expand and expand. And then your reality, your physical reality, your consciousness expands. Actually, I put consciousness there. That should be physical reality. Consciousness is here in your soul. So everything expands when you operate in a place of love, because you are integrated in your multidimensional self and operating in every now moment from here on out. You then create an ascending, evolving reality that is fueled by source, by spirit, by your I am presence. And when you're that, you then follow the path that it brought you here to create. And since you're here on these daily tune-ins having this conversation, I can pretty much say that you were brought here to be a pioneer of this new fifth dimensional earth, so that you can actually show people how to create it and inspire people to create it and help and support people to create it. My guess is you're probably a light worker. which has this, this ethereal kind of idea, but you spread light, whatever that is, whether it's just a smile, whether it comes naturally to you, you just spread love. Now, here's why this is so important for you to understand now. When we are creating in these next 3 weeks, the manifestation process is going to happen quickly once we get our electromagnetic field properly in momentum. Okay. So we are going to be hit by these massive influxes of light, of photonic, or not photonic light. We've actually evolved into the plasma light. So, what you are responsible for, you yourself, sweet soul, we all are in this on this group here. We are wanting to be as much as we can, no matter what's happening in our lives, and no matter what might be falling away, no matter what we might be seeing in our outer worlds. We want to operate above the line in that expansion, the life expansion frequencies of courage or above, which is the fifth dimensional frequencies, which is your infinite potential resides. Okay. So because we live in a physical reality, the more, if you're up here, you might then the next now moment, something might happen and you might dip down and you notice like, uh-oh, I'm in fear. This is where the personal responsibility of where am I right now is going to come into your conscious awareness so that you can move yourself back up into the next now moment, into the higher levels of frequency and the higher levels of operation, in the higher levels of courage or above, so that you can stay up in these places at all times. So because we are human, we may not be able to always stay in love and joy and peace. Like that's kind of, that can kind of be boring. But I know when I've shared with you, like this last road trip that we did through to get here to Albania, it was a lot of stress. But the coolest thing is, now that I look back at it, and I have unpacked that whole process. I processed it. I'm still processing it actually, because it was such this intense moment of understanding my awareness, because I was so aware. And yes, I was down here a lot, but I didn't let it drag me down. I was really good. I knew I was really good at being like, okay, I'm in anxiety. What do I do now? Let's go up to courage. And when I would come up to courage, that's when I would talk to my I am presence. That was when I was talking to my soul. That's when I was talking to my guides, pulling them in, saying, you got me, right? You got me. I need some courage. I need some help. Can you pull me up a little bit? And that love would pull me up. I wouldn't go all the way up to love to be like instant manifestation. I was teetering right here. I was willing to be courageous, but I was like teetering right here because there were parts of me that felt powerless. When we were at a border, I was powerless to who we would get. But I knew that if I was encourager up here, I would be in the life expansive place where we would get that angel. We would get that agent that, was like, go ahead. And for 3 out of the 4 borders, we got that agent. Okay. That border agent. So as long as if you stay in the average of in these higher frequencies in every now moment, you are then setting up your electromagnetic field to be fully integrated, your soul, your energetic self, and your physical self completely integrated. And when you move through these next 3 weeks fully integrated with all of this rush of energy pushing you along, that's when you are setting yourself up for the 2020, for the rest of 2020, to be manifesting that fifth dimensional reality. And once that starts happening, it just keeps happening. I know that I am there. I can feel it. I've gotten here, and now I'm just wide open. So I have nothing but expectation that whatever intention I set for these next 3 weeks to create in consciousness, it will manifest. I have no doubts now. And I want you to join me in that belief and in that trust and in that faith and in that knowingness, so that when we all come through this next 3 weeks, because it could be intense, it may be intense, but if we get through these 3 weeks together, we're going to be like, okay. And then we're going to be sharing on here. I had this synchronicity happen, like Isabel just shared. I had this, I had that. Oh my gosh, now this is showing up. And that is when, as a community, we stand by each other, locking arms through 2022, watching this fifth dimensional reality start to play out. Everything else goes, kind of goes off in the distance with that 3D dismantling. That's going to keep happening. It has to. But we get to be the ones who just kind of tune that out and tune into what is being created. This is so exciting. It's such an exciting time. I did record over early this morning. I woke up and I was like, I need to record. I have to get this out. And it's a hypno meditation. Actually, it's not a hypno meditation. It's a little bit different. It's an activity of light, and it's different because hypno meditations are. If you've ever done any of my hypno meditations, they tend to be more intense. They get into the subconscious mind. They cleanse the subconscious mind. They boost you up. They get you. They kind of overwhelm you. You're like, what's happening? But it's all energy work being done, so it brings your field up in frequency. Whereas an activity of light is more of a calming. It's more of a process. It's more of a gentler, sweeter invocation of your true self. And this activity of light I recorded is called the invoking the I am presence of the fifth dimensional reality. And it was really beautiful when it was coming through. And it's already been uploaded in the Ascension Bank for our members. I already got a comment from, I think it was Carly. It was Carly, and she's like, "This was beautiful," and it was so beautiful. But I'm going to just give you a little bit more of information of it because it was recorded and is recorded on the portal day on February 2nd, 2022. So even if you get this recording, it is still imbued with the energy of this gateway, the Aquarian gateway, and it's an activity of light that opens the portal doorway to all to ascend into the physical reality. It came through as an invitation for your I am presence to come to the surface and be the light that becomes the invitation to have more people join you in that beautiful light, in that beautiful reality. So, what you can expect is unifying your consciousness with the I am presence and becoming one with all of it, stepping through the Aquarian gateway into the higher realms of planetary existence, inviting all dimensional beings of light into the highest order into this activity to hold space and protection for this essential ascension activity. And then evoking the patterns of perfection of the fifth dimensional soul reality into your new earth reality. And then commanding the expression of the I am presence within you to the forefront of existence in your physical world. And then finally, using your power to invite all to ascend into the higher existence of the abundant fifth dimensional new earth. It was such a sweet and gentle recording or kind of process that would just happen to be recorded. Well, not just happened. I knew I was recording it, but it was really beautiful. So you can either get it by, if you make a donation of any kind, you can get that. Just let me know that that's the activity of light that you want. Or again, it's in the Ascension Bank, which is a $22 a month donation, and you will get access to everything that I put out because those are the people that the members are the ones that get everything first. And also tonight we are having our Ascension. I say tonight, but it's my tonight. Our Ascension Circle gathering, our weekly gathering that we do live on Zoom so that we can actually have a conversation. And we're going to be talking about our intentions a little bit more deeply today. So we'll take this conversation and go deeper. So there are live events and live community events also in the Ascension Bank. I think it's kind of like the best deal out there, but I would love to have you in there, and because we do have an amazing community. So this is an amazing day. This is an amazing gateway. This is an amazing 3 weeks to really get intentional with what you want to create, what momentum you want to create in 2022. And I think we all deserve, and we deserves a weird word, but I think we are all ready for some positive momentum in the upward spiral of of existence in the upward spiral of higher consciousness and higher creation. So let's see what we've got. Love from Canada, Lizardy, Colorado. Yikes. Let's see. Love, Florida, Alabama, Hawaii. Hi, Liza. Nice seeing your name on here. I'm glad you're here, lady. From Austin. Hey, Ashley Kazembe. Looking forward to finally start putting together my project to help underprivileged children. It definitely feels like it's launch time. Yeah, that's a good point. Like you'll feel it. You'll know what is meant for you to start creating in intention. I think we all kind of like, you just kind of know, and we're moving past as we get to higher levels of consciousness. We get to the point where it's kind of like you don't doubt the ideas anymore. You don't doubt what's next for you. You don't really doubt what you want, and the wanting or the desires are at a higher level than maybe what they were before, where it used to be like, oh, I want another house or a bigger house, like the third dimensional kind of things. As we rise up into those higher frequencies, it's more service based. My hair's a crazy mess, sorry you guys. So like Kazembe was saying, now the next step is to help underprivileged children. Tara says, my intentions are to build my business to a point so I can sell it to my employees, to travel anywhere without financial limitations, to find my perfect, complete husband, and to bake more. I love that. I like to bake too, although I'm not very good at it, but I had really missed, I was starting to get into baking before we left Austin. And after a year on the road, so to speak, I look forward to kind of getting into this kitchen and making it smell all homey and bakey in here. So I hear you, Tara. But thank you guys for sharing that. Yes, and I love when the intention should just put you automatically in these higher levels of love. When in doubt, when you are in these moments of, oh my God, I'm in fear, or I'm anxious, just take yourself out of the game at the moment. Stop in that now moment. Put yourself in the intention. Literally see yourself, feel it. I can't tell you how many times when we were in Ukraine, and y'all know if you've been here, I mean, Ukraine, I was trying to stay as positive as I could, but man, I was down here for a lot of it. I was down here because I was like, man, I feel like I'm going to die in Ukraine. It was dark. It was dreary. It was, but it was mostly inwardly, emotionally dark and dreary, because there was such a purging process of emotionally that Bud and I were working through. There was so much healing going on, and as we know, healing hurts. And on top of that, it was like winter then in Ukraine, so that it kind of just like pushed down on us. And there were days where it would be hard to get out of bed, not because I was depressed, but I was like, I had no inspiration to get up and out of bed to go, even go outside. So I would just close my eyes and I would see this. I knew where we were going, and I would just sit and be like, when I'm sitting on that back porch and I'm having a glass of wine, which I'm going to drink out of my plastic bottle from the babushka in the market, I don't drink fancy wine. I'd rather have the local stuff that's, smushed down by the babushka in the market. But I would see myself literally sitting here with the sunset. I wasn't sure we'd get sunset. I didn't know, but I imagined it, and sitting there next to Bud being like, honey, we made it. We made it. Oh my gosh. After 10 years of this intention, we made it. These thoughts, these feelings would then put me back up into just the willingness to at least, or the courage to at least get over the powerlessness of being in fear or anxiety or any kind of discomfort. The intention is what you keep right in front of your freaking face for the next 3 weeks at the minimum. Because once it's there for 3 weeks and you get really good at concentrating on where you are, you staying above the line as much as you can on average, because you are tuning into this intention, you are creating that tsunami to come out of these 3 weeks and continue to carry you until that intention is yours. I want this for you, but I can't want it more than you. I still want things, but I know now I'm getting after it. I'm not going to make it happen. You don't have to make it happen. I don't have to know how it's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to happen. All our work is is staying in the thoughts and the feelings of the intention. All our job is for the next 3 weeks is to create the electromagnetic field of the frequency of the intention, because as we rise up in frequency, in higher consciousness, the light, right, the higher levels of light come into our consciousness and reveal the how. It reveals the next step. It reveals the next question to ask. You don't have to do anything. When you get the idea and it's, maybe I should just look something up. Then you go and look something up. Maybe now's the time to buy the ticket. And you buy the ticket. There is no sitting behind fear, no questioning. You are moving forward at anything that is revealed to you that makes you think, that synchronicity is really interesting. I'm going to act upon that. Because the more you act upon it, the more you recognize it, the more awareness you have in these next 3 weeks, the more that energy is going to I don't want to say push, it is going to empower the intention. Okay. Let's see who else. I experienced the universe speaking through my soul, friends, and family. Yes, me too, Lisa. I love the universe speaks through my soul all the time. That's why I ended up recording the activity of light. I literally, I went to bed so early last night. I think the trip is kind of catching up. And finally I woke up and I was like, oh man, it's early. I'm gonna get up and have some coffee. It's only 12:30, like midnight, like 30 minutes after midnight. And I thought, oh my God. So I came out to the couch and I was sitting here doing some stuff, and then fell back asleep for a little bit. And all of a sudden I just couldn't. I was like pulled out of this sleep. And it was to run through my own activity of light. And I don't call them activity of light. I call them like a prayer. I was like just called to speak me my intention. And the inner spirit of me was like, let's connect. I want to connect with you. And that's the I am presence. And I have learned, I can feel it right here. It's just like burning like love in my chest right now. But when it calls and it like wants to connect, and I don't deny it. And I got up, I don't know if it was like 3:30 in the morning. Hopefully it was 3:33. I'm going to say it was 3:33. I don't really know if it was. But at 3:33 in the morning, I woke up and I was like, okay, and I'm going to connect in with you and put my hands together and unifying myself. Like I know that I am the I am presence, and I'm grateful for being one. And because when I am one with I am presence, I am one with every single human being in this moment. And because I sit here in my own fifth dimensional reality and I get to see this beautiful view and I get to live this life that I've been so blessed to live, I get to then give of that gratitude and that love to every human being who is unified with me in consciousness. And I know that every human being is unified with me. And I just connect in. And as soon as I was all connected, it came to me to do something for you all, to also invoke that I am presence, so that you can be unified with it, so that you also can understand the power that you have to invoke that I am presence, and then bless all of humanity and all of our planet in that same energy. And then from that place, you then and we then in consciousness get to command who we are in this fifth dimensional reality. We are connectors of the creator. We are light workers. We bring light. We bring peace. We bring abundance in all ways. And we get to then bless every single person that we come in contact with. So when Bud and I were walking around town today, more often than not, I was aware. And as I passed somebody, I would just kind of like, just give them a nod. Give them a nod of blessings. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to bless you, but you can if you want. If that's your thing. It's not my thing. But I did in so many ways. I would sit quietly at our table with these new friends and just be like, man, I'm so grateful. Like we're having an English conversation and I'm going to bless these people. Just amazing, amazing opportunities we have to be the blessings of the world right now. I'm gonna shut the door. My husband's talking to our new neighbors. So I would like to invite you to become a member of the Ascension Bank, or just make a donation towards this platform and get that beautiful activity of life. It's called the light, not life. I am presence of the fifth dimensional reality. It's a beautiful, the links are at the top there. Okay. And Isabel says, I want to live out my healing support paintings. Ooh, I like that idea. And build beautiful food gardens and share my new home in a location more connected to nature and be presented to me very soon. I command that. I like it. Yep, I command that. Ashley said, what time are you doing your Zoom chat today? Want to join the Ascension Bank and don't want to miss it. Um, it is, hold on. I got to get out of another screen. I hope I don't do anything wrong to disconnect you guys. But it is 6 o'clock my time. So it's 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern, noon Eastern. So I do this month, I'm doing 2 gatherings on Wednesday, and then I'm going to do 2 gatherings on Saturdays in the Ascension Bank to accommodate anyone who might work during the week. So Ashley, would love to have you. It's a beautiful circle that we have. It always makes my heart like pulsate and be warm. So, all right, y'all. I need to get a drink of my water. Forgot to bring it in here. It's sitting out there, and I've been looking at it. I'm like, I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. So I'm gonna go drink some water, watch the sunset, and then I'll be back with our Ascension Bank members here in a little bit to connect with you all and to go even deeper into your intentions. And I'm going to share some of my intentions that are a little bit more personal. And I look forward to seeing you all on the next Daily Tune In tomorrow. Mwah! Have a good one.